contrast to a rather wet weekend, Friday, Saturday, a beautiful, warm, sunny afternoon in Virginia's capital as the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series runs the Chevy Rock and Roll 400. Kevin Harvick, the leader, under green at lap 59. Our AT&T Crew Chief Challenge today, just like these race drivers, always looking ahead to next year before this year's even done. Which driver changing to a new team next year has the best chance of competing for the 2009 championship? Mark Martin, Casey Mears, Tony Stewart, Reed Sorensen. Play text the word crew to 191 on your AT&T wireless phone. Results later in the race. Standard text rate applies. You can't give your vote now because you might sway the voting. But we got a couple guys who did change teams over the course of this past winter that are in the contention for this year's championship. One of them right there, that 88 car, Dale Jr.
Yeah, it seems like it worked for Dale Jr. this year. He's been running great all year long in that car. But you guys remember the first race here at Richmond, he actually was leading the race until the late stages when him and Kyle Busch got together. Had a good car the first race also, Brad.
Very strong first race. And boy, it's good to see him have a good run going today. He's running fourth. Really has a good-looking race car. I know he's got a couple things that he's not happy with, but looks like he's going to be at the end of the hunt at the end of the day.
Let's find out what's going on with driver and team 88 right now. Shannon?
Yeah, Alan, Dale Earnhardt Jr. was saying that the car was a little bit free on that first run. They did not make any changes. He's still struggling with the car. This is what he had to say over the radio.
Still hitting the ground, TJ. It's hurt me on these new tires getting in like these other fellas getting in. I'm sliding the nose pretty bad on that splitter right through there. Quit the center of the corner, but down into the center is tight bouncing on that splitter. It's more to the left front now. The right front's not really the problem, I don't think.
Now, of course, these teams only had one practice this weekend on Friday, a 2-hour practice. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that 88 was experiencing something very similar in that practice session, that splitter hitting the ground. For more on this, let's go to Tim Brewer at the Chevy Cutaway car.
Thanks, Shannon. Folks, the way you control the height of the splitter right here is coming down, and we have deflection right here. This is a shock absorber sitting on a bump stop. It actually keeps the splitter up off the ground. But when you're in low air pressure, what it does, it actually compresses the tire, and you have a lot of deflection in the sidewall of the tire. That puts the splitter closer to the ground. That's the reason you drag the thing on low air pressure.
Race cars like a rolling science project all the time, and all those external conditions affected. It's warm today, and these guys are having to deal with some things they weren't expecting to.
Yeah, a little bit. Dale Earnhardt Jr., you see how low that splitter is to the ground right now. He said it's hitting on new tires. Well, the only thing he can really do right now is just kind of back the corner up. Not drive the car down in the corner so deep. Try not to hit the brakes so hard so the front end slams on the ground. And as soon as the tire pressure builds up, it should correct itself.
Oh, it's just such a fine line, though, Rusty. That's a good attitude of the race car, though. You want that race car almost driving down into that track, but it's so hard. Once that splitter starts bouncing, you got some serious issues.
And I'll tell you, the thing I think about most where Junior's concerned today, he's had kind of a little stumble here these last 2 months or so. Here's a guy who, if he's going to race for a championship over the next 10 weeks, a win today would be huge, Doc.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., exactly, guys, has had only one top 10 finish since he won at Michigan back in June. That was an 8th place finish at Daytona. Stumbling indeed, but maybe turning it around today. In spite of the fact he's dancing on that splitter, he's still holding on to 3rd spot behind Kevin Harvick, the 29 car, who is our leader.
Yeah, but he's losing a couple of tenths of lap right now to Denny Hamlin in the 11 car. Denny's been catching the last 4 or 5 laps. Looks like the 29 car, Kevin Harvick, searching around the racetrack for a groove, and it's and Hamlin's just sticking right to the bottom of the racetrack right now.
Yeah, what about the 9 car, DJ? I mean, boy, this guy's really struggling.
Boy, I was watching a while ago. Casey Kane he's really not a factor here right now. He's getting passed left and right, just falling back. They struggled in practice the other day. They were really having a hard time hitting the splitter with all of the Gillette Evernham cars, and they just could not get him to handle. And Casey is backpedaling right now and doesn't look very good for his chance of getting in the chase.
Shannon can tell us what happened to Casey Kane and why he's backpedaling.
Yeah, Doc, it was a pit road incident. He got stuck on pit road. The team had to move that car back, so just a slow pit stop down here on pit road. But you know, this week, Casey Kane actually said that he enjoys the pressure of having to step up. Well, certainly the pressure is on right now for this 9 team.
His car's not very good on the racetrack either. I know he lost some spots on pit road, but he's losing a lot of spots out here on the racetrack. They just haven't been good all weekend. I mean, the practice session, they were just one of the slowest cars in that practice on Friday.
Yeah, he might enjoy the pressures of this, trying to get in the chase, but he's not enjoying the handling of his race cars. We see him just about get into the wall coming off of turn 4.
In the Friday morning practice session, all of the Gillette Evernham cars were struggling toward the back of the speeds. And DJ, I know you talked to Elliott Sadler and some of the guys in there. They were having trouble with just bouncing off that splitter.
Yeah, they just couldn't get their cars no matter what they did. They thought that Casey found something right towards the end of practice, but it obviously was something that didn't last very long, because if he's not careful the way that it's going right now, he's going to get lapped before long. Carl Edwards is another car that's struggling a little bit. We see him up. He's been bottom and top, but just can't seem to get a handle on it. Dave?
DJ, he had been keeping pace from his 7th place or 5th place restart. Lost just a couple of positions. Then just a couple laps ago, he said, I may have a left rear tire going down. We'll keep an eye on it.
Wow, he's got something going on. He's sideways right there. He's got something wrong here.
And he's going to pull it down and probably head to pit road.
Your way, guys. Your way. 5100, buddy. 5100. Nice and easy here. Nice and easy. Can you tell what side?
I would go for the.
I think
I'd go for 4. Yeah, right. That left rear didn't look like
four tires, guys. 4 tires. What's the bite in it? Another round of bite in it.
That's Bob Osborne talking as Carl pulls into the pits.
Now, these guys are trying to figure out which one it is, and 9 times out of 10, if you try to get 2, you'll get the wrong one. Dave?
So they just changed right side tires. The other difficult thing is for crew chief Bob Osborne, if they did happen to get the correct sides, and we'll confirm that as soon as we can, did you make the right adjustment to the race car? His car was still not operating the way he wanted it to, so that's the gamble. And Andy, you know, the hard call for the crew chief too.
That is a hard call right there, but they may have gotten lucky on this one. I think it was the right side, but I never like doing that. Lead's heating up right here.
Hey, Andy, it's just like this. If a guy goes across the pit wall and he actually sees that tire down, you can get away with getting the rights, just like you used to do the rear. When you identify, hey, this tire's flat, hey, we just get the right sides.
We are told, Dave, it was the right rear.
That's correct, Doc. I'm showing you the left rear right there, but just over to the right of it is the right rear. That's the one where they had an issue with it, so it was definitely going down.
Yeah, I think it's just like Brewer said. That right rear tire changer saw it. They called 2 tires, and good call.
Little drama in the pits, drama on the racetrack. Denny Hamlin has gone by. Here comes Earnhardt Jr. like he shot out of a cannon and goes by Harvick and pulls right up on the back of the Toyota of Hamlin.
Yeah, I tell you what, Junior was talking about his car just won't go on the restarts. But, man, after he runs it, about 30 laps, you look at it, Andy, and said, it just takes off.
Yeah, but he's not good until they run about 30. Wow. He gave Hamlin a little shot right there.
Get out of my way.
Oh, look at this. He said, okay, we can play like that.
We can, but he can't afford to be getting in something like that. Junior's in the chase. Hamlin has to be careful with that.
That's true.
They are having a good race.
Yeah, we just heard NASCAR say, you know, you guys take it easy up there. Let's have a good race. Dale thinks it's a good race.
That's perfect. That's what we want. That's what we expect to see here.
Denny Hamlin needed to finish 22nd or better now that he's led a lap here to get in the chase. And you guys are right, though. We can't afford to be doing a little pushing and shoving here as we are still inside of 100 laps into the race.
I don't believe he's going to be able to hold off Junior. I think Junior gets going so good on the top after they put some laps on these tires.
He carries so much momentum down the straightaway, getting off of these corners so fast. Just unbelievable. He's using up more racetrack, but, man, he is fast. See Harvick get up there behind him now.
We heard him say that on new tires, that splitter keeps hitting the ground and really holds Junior up. And you probably wonder why you would do that. Well, you want that splitter down there just as low as you can for performance. Sometimes you get it too low.